the data channel, and you're watching SQL Bootcamp for Data Professionals. As part of this video, we will understand what is Coalesce in SQL when you're writing a SQL query, what exactly the Coalesce means, and in simple terms, how do you use it, right? So before proceeding, if you're new to this channel, we would recommend you to please subscribe and also press bell button for instant notifications. So let's get started. Yeah, Coalesce is basically it's a function. First of all, Coalesce is a function that will be used in a select statement. So when you're writing select star from a table, right, and instead of star you write something else like which column you want to select, you can perform case statements, you can perform some transform like a basic transformations on the data itself when you are selecting the data, right? So during that, you can apply like you apply some min max kind of functions, right? Similar to that, a Coalesce is also a function. So basically, it returns the first non-null value in the expression. Okay. So suppose like you are having a Coalesce of expression one, 2, 3, 4, n number of expressions should be could be there, right? In that, so Coalesce will get the first like whichever is non-null value it is. Like suppose there is a column 1, column 2, column 3, right? So it first check if column 1 is null. If it is null, it will go to the next one. If it is null, it will go to the next one. So it will go on till the nth expression, right? Whenever the first matched value is returned, so it will stop there. Okay. So you might be wondering where exactly you can apply this, right? Like say for example, you are want to identify a location of a particular person, right? And there would be like city 1, city 2, city 3, and there would be like country 1, country 2, country 3, right? So wherever if city 1 is null, so it will go to city 2 and find if there is any value, and if it is that is also null, it will go to the next, right? So wherever the first non-null value is found, so it will bring that value out. So basically the function evaluates the expression in the order that is provided. So the order is also important here, right? So the order goes like this, right? So you have to be aware of that. Okay, so it is order sensitive basically, and it returns the first non-null value that is encountered in this order. Okay, if all the expressions are null, so in that case, that would be a case, right? In that case, like Coalesce will definitely return null. Okay. Yeah, definitely this will make sense when you kind of yeah, basically as you see the function evaluates the expression in the order that is provided. It returns the first non-null value it encounters. If all the expressions are null, the Coalesce will return the null value. So this makes sense when you see kind of a different examples, like we can apply it replacing null with the default values. Okay, and there might be case where you want to apply it in handling multiple columns, aggregating data, and nested use in complex queries, right? So all these examples we'll be seeing now in the practicals. Let's jump to the practicals. As you can see, there is a user table here, right? And the first use case that we are seeing is replacing null with the default values. So as you can see, when you do a select star from the user, uh, suppose you have a user table with the nickname column, right? So there's a nickname column here. If the nickname column is null, you want to display that as a guest. So that is the use case, right? So how do we do that? Okay, so we can basically do that using this code where we have a Coalesce wherever it is nickname. Okay, so nickname is null, so then you can replace that with a guest. As you can see, so Alice doesn't have a nickname, so you are giving it as a default value, right? So that is what we are calling here, replacing null value with a default value. So this you can think of a number of scenarios, right? So where you don't want to keep the value as null, so you want to default it to something else. Like suppose you can default it to, like say there might be a use case where you don't have a city column, right? So your city column is null. So you can default that value to a, say, n/a, like not applicable, right? So you can have a number of scenarios you can think. Okay, so basically the intent is not to keep the values null, because there might be a reporting use case where you are displaying this report to a Power BI dashboard, or you are exporting this into a Excel report where the leadership it is presented to leadership and it doesn't look good where if you capture it as a null. So null doesn't make any sense to the business users. So where you want to default that value to a values like say, as you say, guest, or like say not applicable, or you can say you can default it to some value based on the use case. So that's quite important, right? And so the next use case is so handling multiple columns. Okay, so what that means, like basically you have a table, like again I'll take a user table here. So you have a user table, right? And with multiple phone numbers. As you can see, there is a home phone number, work phone number, mobile phone number, right? And you want to display the first available number. So say for example, you are generating this report to a customer care center, right? And care center person who want to call to a customer, so he cannot literally go and search whether there's a home phone number, work phone number, mobile phone number, which one to consider. So instead of that, what you can give, what you can write a query is to retrieve, you want to display the first available number to him, right? So in that case, simply we can use something like this, where you can write Coalesce home phone number, work phone number, mobile phone number, and no phone. So basically what you are saying here is whichever the first available number, because it considers the sequence of ordering, right? If the home phone number is available, so it will not go to the, it will not go and search if the work phone number is available. And this Coalesce, keep in mind, it always um, works on the database null values. So if there is a null value, it will go to the next sequence. So right. So if you see here, we can execute both, right? So Alice, for Alice, Nick, home phone number is available, so it is displaying. For Bob, so work phone number is available, it is displaying that home phone number. It skipped the phone number, right? And for Charlie, both home and work is not available, so it is considered mobile number. For Diana, nothing is available, right? So it has given as a no phone, because that default value we are giving here. And for Eve, like home phone number is available, it considered that, it didn't go for the next one, even the work phone is available, right? So this is important in handling multiple columns, and you want to check multiple columns, right? Again, you can think of multiple scenarios, right? And so next we will go where we want to consider the aggregation of the data, right? We will consider, so in this case, sales table. Let's see. So this is a sales table, and in the sales table, you want to calculate the total sales, but replace null values with a zero. So the use case here is you want to calculate the total sales, but replace the null values with zero. Because again, like when you are generating a Power BI report, Power BI dashboard, or you want to present some reports to the business users, so you cannot just say the null. So null doesn't give a good representation of the sales amount, right? When you're giving it to leadership. So you want to replace that with a zero value. So in that case, like you can use this query. Yeah, first of all, you are aggregating here. So you are doing a based on sales ID person. So you're giving the sales. So let us see before, if you don't use Coalesce, what happens, right? Just using a sales amount. So if we are not using Coalesce, what happened here? For sale ID person 2, definitely what you are doing is aggregation. You are aggregating the sale ID. So per each sales person, you are displaying what is the sales amount per each salesperson, right? So in this case, as you can see, for the sales ID sale person 2, you are given null as a total sales. So instead of that, it is not more readable, right? So what you can do is you can use a Coalesce of sales amount comma 0. That means if sales amount is not available, you can default it to 0. So that in that way, so it actually gracefully kind of replace that null with a 0 value, right? So yeah, you can think of how readable it can be, right? And how handy it can be when you are presenting the reports and other stuffs, right? And next, we will see nested use in uh, complex queries, right? So, say for example, you're calculating the discounts. Like let's take the products as a table now. So let's suppose there is a products table, okay, and you have a product discount and global discount for each products listed here. And you want to calculate the discount. If a specific discount is null, fall back to a global discount, right? That means if the product is like product discount is null, so you want to apply discount to the mouse, but mouse doesn't have any product discount, right? So then you will have to apply the global discount, right? And in case of like monitor, so what happens is because both of them are having the nulls, so you will default it to 0. Let's see how exactly this query looks like, right? So the important thing is first let's consider we are having a Coalesce function. We are considering the product discount as a first option. So if that discount is not available, so then we will apply the global discount. So if both are not available, then we will apply the 0 discount. So as you can see, so let's execute both, and you can see here for first product we have applied the product discount. For the second, because it is null, we are considering the global discount. For third, that is keyboard, we are applying local discount, that is product discount. And for fourth, because both are null, we are considering 0. And printer, both are available, but first product discount is available, so that's why we are considered 8 as a product discount. 8 as a discount, which is a product discount in this case, right? So these are the different use cases that we can think of, and you can comment in the comment section if you encountered any useful use cases, right? You can share in the comment section. And so that's the different use cases that we have just seen, and with some practicals, right? And summarizing it, like what is the benefits, right? So benefit is like simplifying handling the null values, improving the query readability and efficiency. So first is simplifying the handles of nulls, because you talk about reporting, Power BI dashboard, anything that goes to the leadership. So that simplifies the handling of the null values, and also for a person who is reading the queries and also reading the reports, that looks more efficient, and also ensures the consistent output even when dealing with the incomplete data. So what that means is, right, so suppose you have a sales table coming in from different countries, so there might be 10 different sales tables coming from 10 different countries, and so one country is considering a product amount as like a product discount as 10, and another, if there is no value, another country is considering it as null, so another country is considering it as 0, right? So there is no uniformity, right? So using Coalesce, what you can do is you can default it to some value, like say 0 or some not applicable values kind of thing, where you can handle that kind of scenarios by kind of handle that incomplete data or data quality issues, right? So you can deal that kind of issues using Coalesce, right? Hope that this was useful, and thanks for watching.